WesWes show.
This organization you started with the Polynesian basketball, and like to me, it's always been a separate entity. You know, you're like your own thing, or you're like it's been not involved with New Zealand basketball or Auckland basketball.
Yeah. They've reached out though.
Have they?
They've reached out.
Have they?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel when they did?
I was like, where were you before?
Yeah, exactly.
Which was okay. I mean, they had the courtesy. Like one thing, there was a guy called Tim. So Tim. He works for EBSL. So he reached out to me. Hey, look, you know, I'm just doing the calendar for BBNZ for next year and stuff like that. And I just didn't want to clash our dates for your tournament. And I was like, oh, that's pretty nice of him, you know, because he knew our tournament was huge. And stuff like that, you know, we're bringing the community, so he didn't want to put his dates out for. So I looked at his dates. Oh, okay, cool. And I looked at the opportunity the Trust Stadium was able to give us, and it just suited. So sweet, you know. So his dates were the rep trials for counties Manukau and Auckland and Waitakere. So those were the rep trials. So it's all in 3 weeks in a row. You know, 3 weeks in a row. So 15, 22nd, and 31st, and our tournament's on the week of the first one. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is our tournament, and that weekend is the first trials. For so it was suited. It was sweet. So it was perfect. I was like, okay, all good. So, but he had the courtesy to reach out and ask, which was pretty cool. You know, I was like, oh, hey. Recognized, obviously. Yeah. Recognized.
I think because of all the numbers, man. Because all the kids that participated in that tournament last year. How many altogether?
I think last year's tournament, just the kids was we had about 650 kids.
See. And that's 650 kids not in the Auckland system, not in the New Zealand basketball system.
Yeah. Well, some of them are probably were, but they chose to play anyway in the tournament. Like, you know, that was cool, you know, just having them part of it, because the goal is having the identity, and that's the difference between everything else.
Because I compare that to like someone starting in New Zealand, someone starting a new rugby competition. Like you got your club rugby, you got your super rugby, and your NPC, and then someone just turning up. Oh, I'm gonna make my own competition.
Yeah.
Like to me, that feels like that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's the
because the New Zealand one sucks.
Yeah, they like, you know, there's not enough offering of or identity given to our people. And that's across all the islands. There's not enough. They didn't give enough credit. They didn't give enough credit here. They didn't give enough credit. They just blanket everything. Okay, you guys are all New Zealand, but they don't identify. I remember, I think we spoke about this before. They called the Auckland Huskies the Auckland Samoan Huskies because there were 6 Samoans in their team, but they never recognized until someone mentioned it.
That was
the Facebook page.
The public that called it. Eh? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And that was very interesting, you know, but they never get recognized. They don't understand. So I think now, I've got a friend of mine. You know how you put like a expression of interest if you want to put an ABL team. So there've been, I think there's about 19 expression of interest. So only 4 got selected. Poirua, Tauranga. There was I think it's another Auckland one, I think. And West Auckland one, which was Te Wake Pacifica, Niasi. You know Niasi? Yeah, so he's running that. So I'm not sure where the stages are now, but they're going through the process of the applications, like who's going to do what. And that there, I'll definitely support it because our Pacifica kids can go and be part of that program. Yeah, and they'll be recognized as a Pacifica team. And that was the whole goal I wanted to do. I wanted to put but obviously he's doing a great. All we do is back him up, you know. That's what we should do. But man, there's a lot of haters out there. A lot of haters, man. A lot of haters like, oh, you know, this team. Come on, man. Like, you look at all the teams, man. Like, they've got at least 2 or 3 Pacific players in there. But that rule of if you played for a Pacific team, country, you know, then you're classed as import. Yeah, so that they actually put that on my son last season on the Drew. Yeah, they put it on. The season I was gone. Yeah. So
if a team was only if the rules are your team's only allowed 3 imports, then he's one of those.
He's one of those. Yeah.
Even though he's
Born
up
here.
born
yeah.
here.
It's because he played for Samoa, and I was like, oh, they need to understand that. So they lifted that. Dylan lifted it. So
Oh,
Dylan
yeah.
Belcher. So
Yeah.
he's a new CEO and stuff like that. So that rule doesn't apply anymore. If you are, so you can play because they understand. We had a conversation before, and he understands before he came GM of BBNZ that the Pacific people have nowhere to play. It's not like they got an NBL competition in Samoa or anything. So it's like they only play within the countries, they only meet each other once a year, and the program's limited. So yeah, so obviously the high point is trying to create our program to feed into those teams, but it's hard because there's no funding, there's no money there. So them lifting that from us, that helps more and more kids come through the pathways and eliminating the thought of, oh, you can't play because you're PI or so it's good. I think New Zealand rugby union did it now. Yeah, you can still play for your
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
After a 3-year stand down
yes.
period.
Yeah.
But no, because it's like when the Samoan kids are playing, like we're talking about the Samoan kids in Samoa, but then the ones that are here that play for Samoa, but they come through that part of the import.
Yeah.
So they've lifted. Man, that's cheeky, man.
Yeah, I mean, you still gotta if you want to play for Samoa, you gotta go through the process of one of your parents got to be born in Samoa, and you got to get your passport done before they're 16, and then you're eligible to play for Samoa. But those are the restrictions that FIBA put on to hold it back, to hold our people back from getting better. It shouldn't matter, where you're born and stuff like that. As long as you have Samoan blood in you and your parents are Samoan, that should allow you to play. But they put this restriction on because of, I don't know if you know Ray so there was this team back in, I think it was 91, and George Sevilla was part of that squad, and it was like a FIBA competition. And it was played, I don't think it was played here, I think it was played in the US or Australia. Anyway, so they stacked up this team, and one player from New Zealand, and all the rest were from the States, all college Samoan players. So there's us as the All Blacks, the Tall Blacks. Man. Yeah. So after that, people came in and goes, oh, you got to be from the country. They put all these restrictions on, and since then, they already know there's no money there. Yeah, so that's why they put it in. So because it's their competition. It's for them. Yeah, that's why, the First Nations, it's a competition for our people. I'm not disregarding a New Zealand Kiwi born kid, but has a heritage to Europe, but this competition is for our heritage Pacific and Polynesian people. That's what it's for, Find it. Cool. Rep that flag. Those are the important things.
I think the best thing about that tournament last year was the how the kids had to go do their silver.
Oh, yeah.
And all the islands do their own ones.
Do their own little performances. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, they were asking, oh, do we do it this year? Because I don't think there's enough time. But it was definitely part of what we need to do. Next, I guess the next one, the 2022 one, late in the year, we'll definitely have an element like that. If not, it'll be, hire some Pacific performers to come and ignite it and. Yeah, even better, so the kids could just enjoy themselves watching the games. Yeah.
So, how much more opportunities have you got now? You must have got a lot now.
For kids to play, or
for this time around, the second time around, after the first successful tournament.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of interest everywhere, but everyone's still sort of COVID scared. It's like, what are the, what's the likelihood of going forward, and all the skepticism around it. And it's like, for us, we just want it to happen. But we can't be afraid. We got to be vigilant and push forward, and just say, look, life gives you lemons, man, make juice. All good.
Because what happens in Amber? You get more people on the court.
More people, and so that's where we're going to run. But I think that's the time that they're looking to open the cross borders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But 15th, and then 17th of January, it's just got to be opened up from there.
And it'll be green
light.
Well, that's what it's looking like to be, yeah. Even though the cases are going up, it's because everyone's getting more vaccinated and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's reaching that point, eh?
So the 10th of Jan, did you make that decision before they set the green light, or it's going to be on the 17th?
No, because we originally made, because I knew that the dates were sort of like when they said, oh, they're going to open up the borders on the 15th or something like that, December. And our tournament was that week. Okay, cool, that's perfect, But at the same time, I was like, oh, no, hang on. Maybe we'll push it back away from these holidays because everyone's so stressed worrying about Christmas and holidays and stuff like that. So, and, having tournaments. So it just sort of eliminates some problems for families and just we'll keep it away from these important dates for everyone. And then we'll make it like a week after, January. Because the school's still, the school's not on yet, And, so it just parents are working. So we're trying to accommodate with adults that are playing in the tournament. Their games will be in the evenings and stuff. And all the youth games in the mornings. But yeah, it was sort of like a collective decisions between the heads of all the nations, stuff like that. Hey, how do you feel like if we moved it to here? But obviously, these new dates are always going to create new challenges for some teams and some people. And I think the biggest one I'm hearing back is, oh, we're still on holiday. And it's like, man, who wants to go on holiday right now? That's my thinking.
We've had like 4 months of it.
Yeah, but at the same time, hey, look, they're going to play in the tournament, and that's what we're here for. I'd rather be in basketball gym 24/7, just than go on a holiday, So, bro, I'm all about making kids better, but people go on holiday, sweet, cool. If it is a holiday, it's a working holiday. I always take my ball and train and go, hey, cool, we can do this in the morning, we do this in the afternoon. It's not really a holiday.
Have you retained all the coaches? Have they come back? Like Booney and all them guys?
Yeah, Booney still there. Yeah. I was just talking to him before. He just rang me up about a parent that was wanting to join his team but wasn't vaccinated. I was like, oh. Then I was like, oh, you got to let him play. Yeah, you got to let him play. And he goes, nah. He's not going to play and stuff like that. So, yeah. But that's all good there. That's all good. But there's a few out there. I said, we can only do our best to provide stuff for kids. We just have to maybe look outside and look at other avenues for them, for the unvaccinated ones. But it's just hard, It's just hard.